Mass is quite a strange album really, because every other song is written by, the first one's written by me, the second one's written by Carl and John, the third one's by me, fourth one by Carl and John, and so it goes through. So it keeps kind of jumping between two styles, and it's like there's a tension between them. But for some reason it seems to hold it together quite well. So quite a strange album in that way. If you took all the odd numbered songs and made an album from that, and then you took all the even numbered songs and made an album from that, you'd have two very, very different albums. But somehow they seem to hold together, thankfully. I would say Subsurface is my favourite album, I think, of all the Threshold catalogue. And I know as you go through as a musician, it's always a new album that's your favourite, but at some point you can look back and say, well actually, that was quite a golden moment for us. It was quite special for me as a writer, because I got to write the whole album with Carl Groom, and it was just us two writing the whole thing, and I don't think we've ever had that on another album. So I feel there's quite a cohesion there, and it was almost like a honeymoon period where we started writing together for the first time, and I just love what we come up with. For me, Dead Reckoning is all about Pilot in the Sky of Dreams, and I don't want to be all kind of selfish about it, but it's like my swan song. That's the best song I wrote, I think, for the band. And it was such a proud moment when it became a single and got on a movie soundtrack. And it's actually a song I didn't think was going to make it to the album. We just moved to Nuclear Blast, and we thought we were going to make a heavier album just for a good reason. We're on a heavier label, and I was writing this song in the background, and it was kind of melodic and piano based, and I wasn't even going to put it forward. And it really wasn't until the very end of the album making process that we actually thought, yeah, this should go on the album as well. So I'm quite glad it did. Isolation never was a violation. Much Progress it's got this great song in it called Rubicon, where I wanted to do a song that was a bit about the history of the band. You know, some bands like to just sing songs about themselves all day long and it gets a bit wearing, but we've never done that, and I just wanted to do one that kind of encapsulated the history of the band. And it's got this big end section at the end, and I managed to make all the lyrics. I took a line out of the opening song of every album we've done and made this 8-line section, and somehow they all scanned, they all rhymed, and they all actually told the story I wanted them to. It took me about 2 days to write just that little section, but it's quite a proud moment. For the journey, it kind of reminds me of albums like Subsurface and even Wounded Land, where you really feel like it is a journey, that the whole album is really coherent all the way through. And it's something I love about classic albums, where you get not just the good songs, but just the flow between them. The sound just feels like they all belong together, and you don't want to listen to the songs individually because they work so well as a whole. And I really felt like For the Journey, that was one of those albums where we got it just right. I think we did it quite soon after March of Progress, so we really hit the ground running. We were kind of in the zone, we had the whole thing nicely in our minds, we knew what we were trying to make. And so I think probably the most cohesive album that we've made.